Let's go now to Tom Switzer from the Centre for Independent Studies, live in Sydney to talk about that interview and the contest. Thanks for joining us, Tom. Just to finish on that last point, the policies. Is there a serious policy debate underpinning this very dramatic election campaign?
No, not at all. And I think you've got to give her credit, as you say, for going into the lion's den. Taking questions from Fox News is a bit like how many Australian Conservatives feel like when you go on the ABC's Q&A, Chris.
Exactly.
So she was subjected to tough scrutiny and she weathered the storm of Brett Baer's excellent questions. However, she didn't really answer those questions. And so whether it really sways the election and appeals to a lot of those independents and moderate Republicans who are uncomfortable with a second Donald Trump in the White House remains to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, the most generous I could say is that she showed that she could handle the heat. She could stick up for herself and fight really not to answer the questions. What do you think she hoped to gain? Obviously, the polls are very tight, if anything, favouring Trump at the moment. Do you think that this was a desperate move to sort of try and show her stamp, show a bit of fight in the campaign?
Well, the original strategy for the Democrats was to keep her away from tough interviews. The fact that she's gone on Fox News Channel indicates that there must be some private polling that indicates that she's actually in trouble in those battleground states. And the reality is that Trump is doing a lot better than anyone had the right to expect, particularly among African-American men and Hispanics. But her best chance of winning the election is to tap into those anxieties among Republican suburban women voters in those battleground state cities. And that's really what the point of today was to win over those moderate Republican suburban women and also independents. And they can swing elections, as we have found out in the past.
Yeah, and she's got to energise those people to actually get out, turn out and vote. So I suppose it would have been an important strategy in that, just getting so much attention on this. But I want to go to one of the key problems for her, and that was revealed a bit last week when she was asked in a couple of different soft interviews what she would have done differently if she had been president while she's been vice president for the past 3.5 years. And that was taken up in today's interview where Brett Baer asked her about, what would she do different? Have a look.
You're not Joe Biden, you're not Donald Trump, but nothing comes to mind that you would do differently?
Let me be very clear. My presidency will not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency. And like every new president that comes into office, I will bring my life experiences, my professional experiences, and fresh and new ideas. I represent a new generation of leadership.
Yeah, Tom, we all know the problems and hurdles Donald Trump faces, but on Kamala Harris, this is the big one, isn't it? She wants to be the new brush of change, if you like, and she wants to try and sell renewal, but she's actually the incumbent. She's part of the current administration and she can't seem to differentiate herself.
That's right. Bill Clinton in 1992, Barack Obama in 2008, they ran on a platform of change and renewal because the Republicans had been in power for the previous 8 to 12 years. Now, bear in mind, 12 of the last 16 years, a Democrat has been in the White House. So it's a bit rich for Kamala Harris and the Democrats to be blaming all the polarisation in Washington on one Donald Trump. Look, he's a symptom of a broader crisis in the United States. And again, she's only playing the Trump card because this is her best chance of winning over those moderate Republican suburban voters. That's her best chance of winning. And that's what she did in that interview, trying to appeal to them. And whether it appeals to a lot of working class Democrats remains to be seen. It's highly unlikely given that they're increasingly pro-Trump.
Just quickly, would you venture a prediction of the result at this stage?
No, it's just too close. The only thing that is interesting, Chris, is the betting markets. Trump now has about a 70-cent lead over Harris. That's the highest by far since she became the nominee.
Follow the money, as they say, but I knew you'd be too wise to make a tip yourself. Tom, thanks very much. Tom Switzer there, who heads up the Centre for Independent Studies. Fascinating analysis.